All right, everyone, here we are. We're diving into the alphabet. I was a little hesitant because I knew it would be sort of bold and odd for someone to tell other people that they remember inventing all symbols and signs. But all I can do is not try to prove anything, but be compassionate enough to teach people what was shown to me. And you'll see over time that this isn't something that someone could have sat down and figured out. It was shown to me. And I took time to figure out how to explain it to people because it's actually true and valuable. Not because it's something that I want people to think about me, because I want them to understand that it's been happening to each and every one of us our whole lives. So we'll start with the simple things, the things that people know about already. We have a point, which is one dimension. We have a line segment that is two dimensions, which also looks like an eye laying down on its side, and it says lion, almost like line. It looks like an eye lying down. Sort of coincidental. Not really. But anyway, so now we know that already, and we live in a three-dimensional world. So when we look at time and space, saying that they're the fourth and fifth dimension, you have to understand that you need time in order to use space, and you need space in order to move time. So they're both the same thing. Dimension just means division of mental action, basically. That's a dimension. And mental action can be everything, since everything is mind. Science talks about that as well. So now we'll move into simple things about letters. It's actually very simple, but no one's ever said this before because no one knew the truth about what letters meant. So I want to show you a couple extra little things that you may not have noticed. I'm sure you've noticed this, but we read things from left to right, and I'm saying this for a reason to point out something later on. The arrows going up and right are indicating that because that's how we read our symbols. We say stuff like moving up in the world, and we say going down. Things are going down. That's why the left seems negative and the right seems positive. Next, I want to point out something that most people haven't noticed. We also have letters on the graph, and we refer to them from the center of the letter because we don't necessarily have movement without time, and the graph indicates space. These next two things I'm going to try to refer to shortly because it's not going to make much sense in language. I'm going to have to show you an example because it's actually quite hard to understand at first until you see it happening everywhere. Our letters and symbols shape dimensions, but in those dimensions, they're not just two dimensional like our letters are when we write them down. They shape things. They're inner dimensions that don't necessarily need shape. And that's why sometimes when it's not necessarily the shape of the letter, it will be the letter's number in the alphabet. And I'll have to show you what I mean by those things. And you'll see very simply as soon as I get into it more in detail.